This time at the Quick Speed Shop, we're going to talk about case high wheel tractors. Ooh, that's hot. So here it is, bam! A Case 446 high wheel tractor, 30-inch rear wheels. This is a 446, which is 16 horsepower, V-twin Onan engine. I believe this tractor is about a 1985. It's got the original paint, original rear tires, optional rear wheel weights, optional center distribution mower deck. I have a 54-inch snow blade for it. I've made some custom action on the back. We'll check that out. I'll show you how the mower deck works. I'll show you the engine, and we'll see how these tractors are awesome and how they survive the test of time, and they're a great thing to have around your house or a little farm. It's a great workhorse. So let's go check it out. Alright, here it is. Here's the Case 446. This is 16 horsepower twin cylinder Onan engine. It's got replacement front tires. It's got the original rear tires. I've got optional Case rear wheel weights and tire chains. The paint is all original. I believe someone has painted this grill orange. I think this should be, yeah, they have. This will be black in here. I've got to flat black this out, but the rest of the paint appears to be original on this, original decals. So here's how it should look. All orange chassis. Everything on the tractor is orange. It's got two headlights. My headlights aren't functioning because the ignition switch has been replaced. But if you have the original ignition switch or the correct one, the headlights will function and you can turn those on. Got the original Onan. I think it's a B43M. This is the original engine, original decal and air cleaner. I have tuned this up. I put two new spark plugs in it, new plug wires, a new coil, and I rebuilt the carburetor. These have a pulse fuel pump system on them, and they're notorious for being finicky. This tractor is probably an 85-ish tractor. Now you have a complete hydraulic drive system on this. There's a hydraulic pump behind the engine that runs hydraulic up and down for the mower deck, including down pressure if you want to put an implement on the front. Like I have a 54-inch snow blade for this, and it puts down pressure on the snow blade. You've got a 2-speed rear axle, which is also hydraulic drive. Right now I've got it in low range. You got a neutral, then you got a high range. These you can get an optional 3-point hitch with an optional spool valve, hydraulic spool valve, which I do not have. Let's see if it'll fire back up here. Now on the rear of the tractor, I've made a custom piece here. I've made this receiver hitch that is plate, receiver tube, and it sits on the factory tab that's down here, and it bolts onto the chassis of the tractor. I have a receiver built into it, which I've just got a cheap Harbor Freight dual ball receiver in this. This tractor has enough power, it'll pull my 18-foot car trailer around in the yard on it. I have a chain on here, and on this, when I used to plow my driveway with this, also the fuel tank is behind the seat, under the seat here. I made this so I could hang up to 4 suitcase weights on the back of this tractor, and they just clear the seat. So I used to use this to plow my driveway with the 54-inch blade, and with the wheel weights and the chains and 4 suitcase weights on the back of this thing, it was unbelievably powerful in the snow. It would push snow up 3-4 foot high in the banks, and the 54-inch blade it did a great job cleaning the driveway. It was just cold and all that riding it, so I've got a plow truck now that I use, but I can still hang weights on here if I want. I've got some of these John Deere suitcase weights that hang on the back of this thing, but it makes it real awesome to have this on the back. A tractor that had a 3-point hitch option would have, I believe, a hydraulic spool valve control that would mount on one of these fenders, and then you could have a sleeve hitch which lifted up from the back to pull like a rototiller or a rear blade, or you can get like a little category 0 3-point hitch for these, which I have neither for this tractor, but those are options. You could also get a factory cab with a snowblower on this. The snowblower is a single stage. I used to have one and I didn't like it. It was too slow, so I got rid of it, and I just used the 54-inch blade. But here it is from the back. I'm going to go ahead and get the mower deck on it. So let's talk about mower decks. So I've got 2 decks here. I got the standard out the side deck, and then I've got a rear distribution deck. This deck is kind of rare. You don't see these very often. This would have been used with a sweeper because it would windrow all the grass to the back, and then you could sweep it up, or leaves, or whatever you want to use. I used to mow with this when I used the tractor full time, but now that I'm using the tractor more for intricate trimming, I've been using the rear distribution deck mower because I can get in between all my stone and gardens and whatnot, and I can not throw any grass like over here in the stone. I mow along the edge of the stone with this mower deck, and it works out pretty handy. And as long as I don't let the grass get too deep, it doesn't really windrow it that bad. So this is the deck I've been using. I just use the case for trimming, and I've got my Cub Cadet lawn tractor, which I did a review on up here somewhere. I've got a 50-inch Mower Deck Cub Cadet XL1 or XT1 that I use for the main mowing. The case, because it's old and tired, I just use it for trimming. But this deck, you might be wondering why it's white. This is the anniversary deck that came in my 444. I have an anniversary 444, which I believe is 1983 or 84. I think it's 83 is the anniversary edition. But for the anniversary, all the implements for those tractors were painted white, and then the chassis on the tractor was painted black. And I'll show you that in a minute. But so this is the anniversary deck that came with that 444. Unfortunately, I burned a valve in the 14-horse Kohler, and I had a spare engine which had a ton of blow-by, and it just didn't run right. So I've got that tractor mothballed for now. Eventually I'm going to build a new engine for it, but that's why this deck is white. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to show you one little step I'm going to do with this. One more thing with the cases, you'll see these mule drives on top here. These are adjustable. They come out to the front. When I put it on the tractor, I'll show you how it works. But the whole assembly drops off, and you can either drive over the deck, or I've got a hydraulic lift to pick the front wheels up to get the deck under there. But the drive unit itself here, the mule drive, is what attaches to the tractor, and then a deck floats underneath that. I'll use the hydraulic jack here to pick up the front of this. Alright. Damn. Let this down a little bit. Simply come up here in the front. Where is it? There's a catch up here in the front. This catches on that like that. Then you just release the front pins into the holes on the front of this mule drive. Takes a little finagling to get it. Here's the other side. And they just pin right onto this drive. The hydraulics have a float down. If you push all the way up, it's float. Then I can pull these arms down to where it got to be, hopefully. Yeah. Allows the hydraulics to float down. Now I should be able to get this pin into here. It's pretty straightforward. The same thing on the other side, and I just got to put the belt on. Okay, here's kind of a shot. Here's your instructions. If you have a original sticker on the deck, it shows how it goes around here, and it shows how to adjust your adjustment tension on your belt here. But it goes around the main drive on the deck, up around the 2 pulleys on the mule drive, up in here, and here's your clutch, which has an over center spring-loaded clutch in here, which makes and breaks here, and it also has a safety switch, so you can't start it when the mower deck is engaged. Now the belt's on, and the thing is ready to go for mowing season. Here's a 54-inch blade. It's got the same front mount that goes on the front of the tractor down here. That mounts on here, and it's got a arm here that pushes up hydraulically and raises and lowers this. I've repainted this with some case orange. It's a manual tilt blade. It's 54 inches, and I believe you could get them in a shorter width for the smaller tractors, but this thing's a monster. It'll push a lot of snow. And I've maintained the factory case decals on it, but it's really a great option if you can find these for these tractors. I love this thing. It works awesome. It's a lot better than a snow blower in my opinion. This is my case 444, the anniversary edition, which you can see here has the black chassis. It also has the white seat. I've repainted this black around the grill. This tractor was actually rolled over and the hood was damaged quite a bit, and I broke the grill and did some other things. So this should be black in here, but I've painted it to the body seam all the way around on the nose here. So that's the only thing it's not original. It has original decals. The engine is out of it. It's got the original front smooth tires. This was a nice tractor. I believe it was bought by the Rochester City School District originally, and it had a cab on it, which the previous owner had removed and then unfortunately threw away, not realizing that they're quite valuable. So I was bummed out about that, because this thing would have been awesome with a cab on it. But I've done the same thing as the 446. I have chains on it. It's actually got cleated truck chains on the back. This thing is also a monster, and I have a similar hitch to that other tractor built on the back of this. Currently the engine is out of it. You can see your hydraulic drive here, and unfortunately I've got a mouse nest growing where the battery goes. I'll have to get rid of that because there's some mice to get in here. But the engine bolts on these isolator screws here and bolts to that hydraulic pump with a Lovejoy coupler. But here's the 444 ready, waiting for a rebuilt engine at some point. So there it is. It's just that easy. This thing is, let's see, 85, 95, 2005, 2015. This thing mows fantastic for a 35-year-old tractor. These things are super heavy duty. They'll last forever. For my detail work, I need to trim with this rear distribution deck. This thing is the nuts. It works great for trimming up in all my intricate areas. That's what she said. So, this is a great tractor. I've had 4 of them. They're expensive for what they are. Even still, they're a good one. Is easily $1,500 for one of these used. And they all usually need work unless you can find a really nice shaped one. But this tractor was very expensive when it was new, so people usually took care of them. But just wanted to show you my Case 446 high wheel tractor with the 16 horse Onan V-twin engine. I'm glad that I still have one running around here at the Quick Speed Shop. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm going to hit the button over there to subscribe for people who aren't subscribed. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so tell your friends. Doing cars, tractors, and whatever else is running around here. And as always, we'll see you again at the Quick Speed Shop.